Mr. President, yesterday, our Democratic friends took a vote that says a lot about the way they view the world. After nearly 4 years of spending and debt, millions of Americans are still struggling amidst the slowest recovery in modern times, and the economy is flat on its back. And our friends on the other side think a great way to go forward is to raise taxes. Raise taxes under the guise of pretending to care about the deficit. Democrats are pushing an ideological goal of a symbolic tax increase that won't even fund the government for a week. The vote that we had yesterday, with all but 2 of the Democrats on board, allegedly about doing something about the deficit, wouldn't fund the government for 1 week. Now, they're not even pretending to care about the economy. They've sort of given up on the argument that this is about the economy. We know that because 2 years ago, the Democrats agreed that higher taxes they're now fighting to increase, this tax increase they're now fighting to increase 2 years ago, they agreed it would hurt the economy. So let's look at the economy then and the economy now. At a time when economic growth was 3.5% back in December of 2010, 40 Democrats over here voted to keep rates where they were on the grounds that it was the best thing to do for jobs. December 2010, 40 Democrats voted to keep tax rates where they were because it was the best thing for jobs. Yet now, when the growth rate is 2%, 3.5% then, 2% now, and 13 million Americans are still out of work, they're voting to slam nearly 1 million businesses with a tax increase. Now, maybe they're expecting the GDP numbers tomorrow to be 3.5%. We'll see. That's one of 2 things. Either our Democratic friends don't even care about the economy and jobs anymore. Either they're just embracing Thelma and Louise economics. Let's just take everybody off the cliff, and hoping people support them for some other reason. Or their economic worldview is so far outside the mainstream of everyone else who has looked at this situation that they think 2% growth and 13 million Americans unemployed is good enough. Maybe they think that's just as good as we can do. That's where this ideological crusade of theirs is taking them, right in that direction. Well, I just hope for the sake of a struggling American economy that some of them soon see how misguided an approach this is. Let me repeat, 2 years ago, in December of 2010, when the economy was growing at a rate of 3.5%, 40 of our Democratic colleagues and the President and the Vice President and I and the Speaker agreed to extend the current tax rates for 2 years because it would be good for jobs. And just yesterday, with 2 exceptions, every Democrat voted to raise taxes on 1 million businesses when the growth rate, the GDP increase rate, the growth rate right now is 2.5%, and 13 million Americans are looking for work. Now, that's not a prescription for the economy. That's an ideological crusade. That's not about America's jobs. That's about the election 4 months from now. Mr. President, I yield the floor.